More than 69 million millennials are of voting age, according to the Pew Research Center, making them a crucial voting bloc. We get the July jobs report today at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Will the state of jobs and the economy get millennials to the polls in November? Caroline Ghosn is with us here, CEO of Levo Group. Caroline, good to see you. And what's your take on this?
Absolutely. So 80% of the Levo members who we polled, who are all squarely millennial, about 23 years old on average, felt that their careers were going to be significantly impacted by the outcome of the election. So the dialogue around how each candidate's proposals are going to affect people's day-to-day jobs is really important to continue.
Yeah, who do they want to see in the White House? What do they want to see in their next president?
So here's what's interesting. So we found that 71% of the survey participants thought that Hillary Clinton was going to win. However, only 58.9% of them were going to vote for her. And what we're seeing is this large block of voters who are still undecided. It's about 21% who are undecided, who intend to vote, but who aren't quite sure which candidate they want to support. And then you have this 7% that is squarely deciding they're not voting because they don't like either candidate.
Well, if they don't vote, Joni, that would mean that they're giving it to Hillary Clinton, I guess.
Well, yeah, and that is the most concerning part. And you wonder why millennials think that their vote doesn't matter, that they actually would abstain from voting. You know, that to me really is concerning, because millennials, they are our future. I mean, they are obviously the younger generation of the workforce. They're faced with challenges like large, student loan debt. They want to buy their first home. They haven't been able maybe to find that right job out of college, and certainly focus on wages and making more. So I would think that millennials would be really in touch with the issues and supporting a candidate that they felt was truly going to make a difference. And Caroline, we saw a little bit, right, with when Bernie obviously was out there, he had a strong percentage of the millennial vote. But now it seems like millennials are taking a little bit of a back seat and saying, you know what, I don't like either candidate, so I'm not going to vote. And I don't think that's the right direction. We need millennials out there voting because these issues are really important.
And I think what's historically significant about this particular election is that millennials will equal baby boomers in terms of the voter base for the first time ever. You're seeing this new generation compose almost 30% of the voting base, and equal baby boomers exactly.
What are they most concerned with? I mean, for example, the balance of the Supreme Court is obviously at stake. Hillary Clinton is talking about free community college, and she's really focused on student debt. Are these the things that are resonating? What's resonating most with this group?
Yes. So we asked about economic issues that were of highest importance, and we found that #1 was student loan debt relief and tuition in general. And we're seeing the candidates begin to talk about tuition. In Hillary's case, very specifically. In Donald Trump's case, we're expecting him to come out with a more specific proposal in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So this is the #1 economic issue that's top of mind for millennials. And then shortly behind that, we have foreign policy as a group, as the issue that they care about. But tuition is still #1, and student loan debt is on the rise.
In terms of how the candidates are communicating with this the youngest voting generation, we kind of talked about this, but do you think Donald Trump's been very successful in using Twitter, but is that starting to become noise to people? Like what's working and what isn't working this far into the election cycle?
What we're seeing at this point is that people want specificity from the candidates. So if they say, I am going to support millennials entering the workforce and support them having a more successful career, millennials want to understand exactly how are you doing that. How are you proposing to modify tuition? How are you proposing to modify student loan debt relief? And so there's an opportunity now.
So just saying community college is going to be free isn't enough? They want to know how the American people are actually going to pay for that? Really?
So I think that with respect to, so Clinton has proposed free tuition for students and families earning $85K or less. That's a very specific number. I think it's time for the candidates to get very specific about the policies that matter most to millennials. And the good news is it's very clear what matters to millennials.
Yeah, so it's not gun control. It's not the Supreme Court. It's tuition, student debt, followed by foreign policy.
So on the economic side, it's tuition, student debt, and foreign policy. On the social side, it is gun control. That was the #1 issue that was brought up. And then the #2 issue behind that was issues around abortion.
Okay. Yep, understood. Caroline, great insights there from that polling that you're speaking to, and really get your finger on the millennial group. Up next.